Super Mario 64, The Shining Stars. Doesn't that seem a little bit redundant? I mean, aren't stars supposed to shine anyways? That's like saying the computing computer or the record playing record player. It's unnecessary, but I guess if the game was just called Super Mario 64 The Stars, it wouldn't really be catchy enough. So when you start the game, you get this creepy voice that just says Mario. Mario! And no, you're not imagining it. It is in fact a little bit weird. So it drops you into this fairly simplistic overworld with absolutely no backstory. There are enemies around and a number of pipes which take you to different levels, naturally. This place, however, is not entirely bland, as there's this nice big statue of a star to spice it up. Other than that, the simple joy of exploring the overworld is, at least for this section, short-lived. The first few levels, however, are a different story. Right away, I noticed the variety. There's this nice level which is fire on one side and ice on the other. I feel like they may have taken inspiration from Banjo-Tooie on that one. And of course, no Super Mario 64 ROM hack is complete without a bright grassy field with a mountain. Watch this, I'm gonna land right on the star. I can do that because I'm a professional. Don't try that at home. Then you got this nice garden in the sky, which is good in keeping with the variety. Now, if there's anything I've noticed about these first few levels, it's that they're, for the most part, pretty easy. Heck, sometimes it's almost too easy. You know, when I play Mario 64 ROM hacks, sometimes it reminds me of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You know, like, ooh, this game is too easy. Okay, what's this, Mario's Nightmare? Ooh, this is too hard. And then I go over to Mario 74 and I'm like, wow, this is just right. Back to the Shining Stars. Remember how I said it was too easy like 2 seconds ago? Well, then it gives you this invisible cap switch level. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I have nothing against difficulty in video games, but this level is the accumulation of every horrible disease known to mankind in the form of some decrepit temple in the sky. And I mean that almost literally, because this level made me so mad that it almost made me sick. Well, not really, but still. And it wouldn't even be that big of a deal if it was consistent with the previous levels. In Super Mario 74, I was always prepared for a bullshit horse kicking your balls level because that's how the entire game had been from the beginning. That's not to say it ruins the game though. It certainly caught me off guard and pissed me off a little, but no game is complete without some part like that. Eventually, as per usual, you're gonna have to fight Bowser in order to progress. Now, of course, when you beat him, you get a key which you use to open more of the hub world. Now, this new part of the hub world is fairly basic, but there's one thing that bothered me. I don't know if I'm just an idiot, blind, or having a shit day, or all of the above, but when you dive into the water here, you can't seem to get back out, and you're forced to reset the game. Now, this would be a lot worse if it was like in the middle of a level or something, but it's still an inconvenience. Fortunately, the underwhelming hub world is again able to redeem itself with its access to a bunch of new levels, and they're all great to say the least. They're large and still maintain variety, but I've talked a lot about the levels, and if I talked anymore I may as well just spoil the entire game. But anyways, the gameplay is top notch. It captures the spirit of the original very well for the most part, despite its largely sporadic difficulty, and the levels are large and fun to play. Before we move on to graphics, I just want to point out that this one level actually included those music blocks from Mario Bros. 3. You know, those ones that make you jump really high? Yeah, I just wanted to point that out because those things are cool. Okay, now let's get on to the graphics. Yeah, I know. Now, I'm sure this is a story that you've all heard before. The textures seem to be taken directly from the original, and as such, they're average at best. Considering that other Mario 64 ROM hacks have updated and more detailed textures, this is a little underwhelming. However, there is one huge advantage that this game has over the other ones in the graphics department. The coins are actually fully rendered in 3D, rather than just being a bunch of floating sprites. Now, considering that most N64 games, let alone ROM hacks, use sprites to represent their objects, this is pretty impressive. It's not the only ROM hack to do it, but it's something that deserves credit, and I am more than happy to provide it. But at the end of the day, the graphics are okay. For the kind of game this is, they're as good as they need to be. I may have said this in one of my earlier videos, but I've considered in the past not talking about graphics at all with these ROM hacks. But the reason I do it is because many ROM hacks have some sort of thing worth mentioning with regards to graphics. Then again, many games don't. Anyway, those are just some random thoughts of mine. Let's get on to the music. Now, if you've watched my Super Mario 74 review, you might remember that I joked about how they should have used music from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door instead of Super Paper Mario. But of all the Paper Mario games they could have taken music from, why did they choose Super Paper Mario? Why not the original or the Thousand Year Door? Well, it actually seems as though someone agrees with me because this game actually uses music from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. Now that's a good sign right there, right? When they know the best games to borrow music from. Naturally, it's not the only game from which they borrow music. Hell, the Sky Garden has the Super Mario Land 2 theme. Then this level has that annoying song from Kirby that everyone seems to like for some reason. Then sometimes the music just straight up shits itself for some reason, like right here. Okay, my ears are now officially broken. But that was Super Mario 64, The Shining Stars. It's a great game, very fun, just like the original, decent graphics, gotta love those coins, and great music. Well, as long as it doesn't sound like some sort of electronic diarrhea blast like it did a second ago. Overall, it's yet another addition to the growing pile of awesome Super Mario 64 ROM hacks. Now, before I leave, I just want to mention something. After I uploaded my Missing Stars review, it was brought to my attention that I completely missed a really huge feature. That's right, in Mario 64 The Missing Stars, you can actually play as Luigi. You can play as Luigi, and I didn't mention it at all. In fact, I didn't even notice when I was reviewing the game. Yeah, this is a little embarrassing. But we all make mistakes, yada yada yada. You know, it really is an awesome thing that they put that in the game, but what's up with the scale? Look how ludicrously huge he is compared to Peach. Like, what the fuck? He's ginormous. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my other reviews, let your friends know, and maybe even subscribe if you want. That's all for now. Have a good day, everyone.